Welcome into the Mad Monday podcast, brought to you as always by 4 and 20 Pie. It's the perfect at-home snack for watching rugby league. Mania and Di with you for your Monday. Di, just on the 4 and 20 Pie, the traveller pie. I know you love it, I love it too. Have you ever seen someone eat it with a knife and fork before?
No, I have seen someone eat a pie with a knife and fork. The only pie I'll give you to eat with a knife and fork is if you're actually in a pub having a proper pub pie.
And you get a slice of
Yeah,
pie.
it's like, or it comes in a sort of big ramekin with a lid on it, so you have to.
A pot pie.
But if you're getting a pie that you'd either get at the footy, a servo, or it's an on-the-go pie, and the traveller is one literally made to hold in your hand.
In one hand.
Don't tell me someone we know has been eating a pie with a knife and fork.
Yeah, Kezi on Saturday night was tucking into one with a knife and fork. He said it was a little too hot for him, and so he had to roll the knife and fork. He was appropriately torn to shreds on the text machine for his efforts as well.
Look, I mean, Keezy's someone who loves the banter. We all know that. But, this is just...
He loves the burgers too, down there at the Mount.
I thought he was just a Kiwi guy. He's into cars.
Yeah.
He's into the Red Fox Tavern. He better not be caught dead at the Red Fox Tavern eating a 4 and 20 with a fork and a knife and fork.
100%.
He was cutting it, giving it a bit of a...
Yeah. And there's a video of him trying to do it on the thing, but because it was air fried to within an inch of its life, he couldn't cut through because it was quite crusty. But again, it's designed to hold together in your hand. So he's trying to cut it, and then he goes to pick it up, and it just drops off the end of his fork. The video's still on Instagram. So just pick it up, man.
The answer, Keezy, is if your pie's too hot, this is what we use. When I was at primary school, once a week you could order a pie, right?
Yeah, write your name on the envelope.
It always came so hot. So you'd take the top off, put the sauce inside, put the lid back on, and the sauce cooled it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options. You don't have to go straight for the knife and fork.
If it's too hot for your hand, you can put bread on either side. That's where the pie sandwich came from. You can blow on it, of course, like the famous ad.
It's Safer Communities Together.
Safer Communities Together. That pie's been in the pie warmer since 8 o'clock this morning. It's thermonuclear. You must always blow on the pie. You could just wait.
I reckon that police officer did more for the reputation of the police in New Zealand than any police officer in history has done.
100%. I couldn't think of maybe the good afternoon Constantine officer, although he was just there when it happened. He didn't actually do anything.
He didn't have a great line.
No, he was just there. Yeah, I think he would. But, let us know. 3
Look, we're dancing around the sadness here, Mania.
Yeah, and the sadness is 38-24. The Warriors lose again. That is 16 straight against the Storm. 15 years that we haven't beaten them. I think it was 2009 last time we beat the Storm. They are top of the table. And before we get too deep into this chat, I would say before this game, if you told me the score was going to be 38-24, I would have said that probably sounds about right. Don't you think? But it's probably the way that it happened that was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, like 38. So if I just saw the score, 38-24, I'd think Storm got out to a lead and then we hunted them down, but we didn't have enough time to get it back. So this morning I did, I've done my watch, I've done my rewatch, and I just watched the game through stats.
Oh, yeah.
The stats don't tell a 38-24 story.
No.
We had 54% of the possession.
Yeah.
An 82% completion rate to their 76%. We had more completed sets. We had more total sets. We had 300 more run meters.
300?
We had 11 to 6 offloads.
So the only stat they beat us in
was tries.
Was points, yeah.
And I have to say, as a Warriors fan who has a heavy amount of PTSD, I was so stressed out when we got out to that early lead. You know, we had 20 beautiful minutes of play. Granted, we probably should have scored another try in that time. After 12 minutes, the Storm hadn't had a full set.
Yeah.
After 20 minutes, they hadn't been into our half.
Yeah.
And then they just do what the bloody Storm do.
Couple of opportunistic tries. I thought that, like you said, the start was excellent. Adam Pompey scoring that try. The Chance backdoor flick, outrageous.
So that seals the deal, right, on Chance. Before, the game Chance had in the halves, everyone was saying, is he a ball player? He doesn't really, he's not a silky hands ball player. He showed he is a great passer in that. That backdoor flick pass was on the money.
It was.
Under pressure. It was amazing.
It was sick.
I give him a pass because he's a Kiwi. Jerome Hughes owned that game.
He destroyed us. And I was saying that my keys to success before the game was Jerome Hughes and Ali Katoa. We need to shut both of them down. They play so well together. You're right. Jerome Hughes killed us. His combination with Ali Katoa, who just took Adam Pompey's lollies for that try, where they kicked, Pompey went up, caught it, and then Katoa went, mean catch, bro, give us that ball, and then scored a try.
Eli Katoa is a player who would still be munting around the middle unless he'd gone to Melbourne.
Yeah.
Craig Bellamy has honed him and is getting... You know how he manages to get all of the juice out of the berry?
Yeah.
Like if you look at that, someone like Nick Meaney, right?
Nick Meaney.
He was pretty average, but he's like a dead set sweet as. He was a sweet as replacement for Pappenhausen until Farlongo.
Yeah.
Oh God, I wanted to punch the mana wave out of his face.
Oh, I know.
When the thing's not because I dislike him, because he's just one of those players that's on the team we're playing, and he is so good.
It's like when Reece Walsh plays against us.
Yeah.
When he was playing for us, we were like, yeah, mean, suck that. But then when he's playing against you, I took so much schadenfreude from him doing the big swan dive and then injuring himself.
Oh,
he busted his rib.
Massively winding himself and cracking a rib or whatever.
Sucker. But he is electric. He carved us to bits a little bit there. I think the biggest thing, that the elephant in the room for this game was the 2 yellow cards. The first one was a quick tap and go from Jerome Hughes. He ran straight into Marcelo Montoya to try and milk a penalty. Marcelo obliged, grabbed him, threw him over the sideline. The ref's like, the fuck? You can't do that. So he binned him. I
wouldn't be surprised that Marcelo should have thrown him over the sideline and just walked to the dressing room.
Yeah.
Because that play is one of the few guaranteed send-up binnings, where there's no question.
No.
And Gerard Sutton, right, he has a bad history with the Warriors in terms of calls.
At one point, the the penalty count was 6-1 against us.
But then having said that, he gave us every call in that first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The call I found weird was where they went back 2 plays for Tamati Martin's head high.
And took back.
And Wade was going, what about my head high?
Yeah.
And he goes, you didn't get head high tackle. And he goes, why am I bleeding from the face?
Yeah. That one absolutely killed me when it happened. It's like, how? Because I think, didn't we score?
So we were going to have the ball.
Yeah.
Because we...
That's right. It was a double knock on, and we were like, right, it's our ball. But then they're like, hang on.
Yeah, we scored, but it was a double knock on, Melbourne knock on first, and then they went back 2 plays.
It's like, that's not what you were checking. That isn't what we were talking about.
Such a rugby union move, eh?
It was. It was a massive rugby union move. And just before that game, I was talking to McConey, who'd commentated the rugby union game before us, and he's like, league does a good job of this kind of stuff, They don't go back that far. They just go back to the last phase. Sure enough, we got absolutely slicked. But again, that's not why we lost. I
just still on that Tamati Martin thing. I thought the way league meant to deal with it is they play the knock on, but they go, we checked that there was foul play to Marty Martin's on report.
Yeah.
So then it gets dealt with after the game because they missed the penalty in the run of play.
Yes. But no, they decided we're actually going to bring that one back.
And Wade got smoked.
Yeah. Well, again, like you said, he said to the ref, how can I have blood coming out of my lip if I didn't get hit in the head? I don't know. It's just such a squirrely one. And I know it's like a sore topic because anytime it goes against your team, you're like, well, what are the fucking rules?
Yeah, and I'm not one to blame the refs because, look, the refs didn't lose us that game.
No.
Our edge defence lost us that game, I felt.
Well, particularly when we lost the edges of our edges from those 2 yellow cards.
Oh, when we had no edges.
When we had no edges. We were just a middle. Because
but there was one try to, I forget his name, their winger.
Grant Atkinson.
Yeah, just where that sounds like a referee, Grant Atkinson.
Yeah,
where
MP.
Montoya just stumbled to get on the out to turn around.
Oh, yeah, he just got done on the outside, yeah. No,
where we compressed a bit too much.
just got the numbers a little bit wrong on that one, yeah. That's a bit disappointing. But
also, we had a lot of injuries in this game.
yeah, we did. Rocco Berry, I don't know exactly what happened to him, but it looked like he hurt his hand again. It was some sort of arm issue, and it was on the same hand he broke.
So it is down his shoulder on the NRL injuries.
Yeah, right.
I think, which is what he had before, wasn't it?
Well, he broke his hand, and so he was out for a little bit, and then he was down in the in goal getting attended to, which is no good because if you notice towards the end of the game, I think it was Chanel Harris-Tavita was kicking, because Adam Pompey came off with an ankle injury as well.
And respect to Pompey, he was kicking epic.
Yeah, he was.
His conversions were great. What was your take on Chanel getting like 9 minutes?
I'm not entirely sure what his role is at the moment in the Warriors. Like, yeah, he's in there to spell Wade Egan, but I just think it's been a little bit all over the shop at the moment. And so, I don't know, there's been a few players that we've been carrying on our bench that didn't get too many minutes. Kirk Capewire probably only got about the same amount. Yeah,
it just felt like we didn't. Yeah, and I mean, it's more intelligent people than myself. But I'm just looking at it now. Rocco Berry's shoulder and Adam Pompey they're both TBC.
Yeah, looked like some sort of ankle, lower leg injury. It was very late on in the piece.
Yeah, I felt like he came off with 2 or 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, it sort of sailed under the radar, and then I don't know. It's just.
So upsides are 2 of us are Sheck back next week.
Allegedly.
Ed Cossey played awesome in New South Wales Cup, and he did well when he's played 1 or 2 games.
He has. And he does do well. He did score a try against the Roosters. Unfortunately, when they put that 50-point drubbing on us in the first half, it was all down his side. So there is a little bit of concern there. But yeah, you're right. I think Cossey comes in for Dallin, who's going to get 1 or 2 weeks for his head high on a man that did not have the ball. And then
that was a brain fart.
It was. So Cossey will have to come in for him. RTS back into the centres. And then I think Ali Leotawa, who I think has been...
he is injured, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
He is round 18, ankle.
Oh, man.
So maybe there'll be that Mwala Graham Tofa.
Yeah. Oh, man. Or do we put Tuopiki back in at fullback and then Chans in the centres? This is going to be
also
tough.
A thing that I thought I'd never be saying. The slowest, I just felt that Tohu and SJ were a bit slower. I mean, granted they're coming back, but God, having Dylan Walker at lock, he plays so fast.
Changes the complexion of our team, eh?
Yeah, and Tohu and SJ didn't do anything wrong, but Tohu's that more controlling, lumbering ball playing sort of Isaiah Yeo type.
Yeah.
Whereas Walker just blitzes it.
He does. I kind of see Tohu becoming more of a prop.
Same. I'd love to see him in the prop rotation.
Yeah, just because of exactly what you just said then. And if we can get him into that prop rotation, it may, bring his minutes down a little bit because he'll play every minute of a game if you ask him to.
How good's Jackson Ford and prop?
Why? We were trying to figure this out last week. Why have they swapped Mitch Barnett and Jackson Ford around?
I think because Mitch Barnett and Niokore, I think, are really steady with the ball. Niokore is So Jackson Ford runs mean lines, but he drops about 2 out of 5 on that short ball.
He's got a good knock on in him.
And I think, Mitch Barnett's shining, as he showed with that try. He can play anywhere.
He can.
But it's. I think from a coach's point of view, it's really enjoyable having interchangeable back row and props, because then you don't get caught in the sort of the having to play the same people. However, I haven't seen much of Tom Ale. There'll be Dimitrik Sifakula coming back into the picture.
Zion Maiu. And that's with Bunty out as well.
And Bunty's playing New South Wales Cup. We've got our resources are there, but what I think we are going to struggle with is there's this log jam, right? And teams are really starting to step up, like Manly,
Yeah.
The Cowboys got that big win.
Yeah.
So
I don't trust the Cowboys, but yeah.
no, but just in terms of I think it's going to be a big fight for us to get to the bottom of the 8.
Yes, right. Yeah, I'm with you.
Because, it's not like we're just going against a couple of teams.
Nah, the Bulldogs are in at 6th. The Broncos, I think, might even be 8th.
Yeah, I think the Broncos are on the slide, eh?
Yeah, so it's like these are the guys that we're trying to compete with to get in there. Dolphins, Sharks, Storm, Panthers, all right up at the top.
Yeah, so Broncos fallen out of the 8. They're at 9. The Roosters are 5th, Bulldogs 6th, Raiders 7th, Manly 8th. However, Manly's on 17 points, they're in 8, and we're on 15 points and we're 12.
Oh, right, okay. So we could easily be back in there.
But we basically stay where we are next week if we beat the Titans, because all the teams above us have buys, so they're all guaranteed.
Massive bye week, which in other years would have benefited us because of the Origin thing, but we'll talk about it later on in the podcast. It's probably not going to benefit us this time. Just quickly, in the old Mad Monday Munters group on Facebook, go and look it up. Logan Mudge got in there straight after the game and said, tough watch tonight after a magnificent start. Some dumb stuff from our wingers when we were right in it. Also, I love him, but I think SJ's days are nearly done. Offered very little. 15 to go. I hope I eat my words. Do you think he will eat his words?
I'm putting SJ just feels a bit slower, but, he's had leg injury, back from a pec injury. Also, we seem to have changed our style a little of play a bit while he's been out, so he's slotting back into it. I hate to say it, obviously he's coming to the end of his career, but I was thinking he's sort of the same age as DCE, right? Yeah, and you look at how DCE just worked the Manly around the park this weekend and basically brought them to a win when they had no bench.
Yeah.
Jerome Hughes just kicked them around the park. It's awesome. Tamati still had a good game. Mm-hmm. There's still a place for Sean in the side, and I just hope that he can find his straps for the rest of the year.
I think I know what it is, and I sort of talked about it last week, and I don't think it's a positional swap, but it's a role change where Tamati Martin becomes our first receiver and dictates a bit more of the play and frees Sean Johnson up to play a little bit more of the 6 role, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, a bit more floating and...
Yeah, a bit more instinctive, just eyes up.
It seems that I think because also he's a victim of having been a successful player for so long that people know how he steps. They know his go-tos. Yeah,
but I think he obviously one part of why our right side attack's not as powerful this year is because teams know about it, they've locked in, keyed in on it. And by default, teams lock in on Sean Johnson because he is Sean Johnson. So if you've got Tamati Martin out there and one of his passing options is Sean Johnson, I feel like that puts another level of doubt. It's another decision for a defender to make. And I think that you pair that with, Marata, who looked excellent. He's out on an edge. You pair that with Mitch Barnett out on another edge. RTS comes back in. Now all of a sudden you look up, you're looking at RTS, Mitch Barnett, Sean Johnson, and you're like, shit, I don't know what they're going to do here.
Yeah, all running down one side.
All running down one side. So I think that we put a bit more into Tamari Martin. We've found out over the last few weeks he's up to it, but I still think there's a little bit of deference, particularly from him being like, look, that's Sean Johnson. He can do whatever he wants. And also from the team's perspective, we're paying Sean Johnson all this money. Here you go. You're in charge of everything. I think it'd do us a lot to just take a bit off his plate, just say, look, mate, we're going to give you a bit more license to roam, and Tamari's going to take charge a little bit more.
Yeah, I'll be into that.
Yeah.
I feel our kicking options need
something.
Yeah. Because we don't have that kicker like Matt Burton. What? Did you watch the Souths game by any chance?
No, not live, no.
Jack Whiten.
Yeah.
He kicked it 75 metres on the fifth tackle.
Did he? Did he kick it dead?
No, he kicked it from his 25 down to their 5 metre line.
Jesus Christ.
So just massive punts.
Yeah. We don't have
And that changed again, that changed it from you guys struggling to get out of your own end to all of a sudden that guy runs off 10 metres and he's caught on his 15-metre line, you know?
Yeah, you're right. Having said that, I think Sean Johnson, at least up until his injury, was leading the league in kick metres. But you're right, it's not so much that. It's just we don't have attacking kicks. We haven't had a 40-20 in about a decade.
Yeah, and also those, those bombs that are just wobbling, towering messes.
Yes, someone put one up on the weekend that wasn't Sean Johnson, and it scared the piss out of old Suafar Long, almost dropped it. I'm forgetting who it was.
Oh, it wasn't Chance put up a bomb?
Yes, it was Chance. It was Chance, and he lined up like he was going for a torpedo bomb.
Yeah.
I was like, go on, Chance. I just kind of wonder if the Warriors at the moment, our identity last year, well, before that even, our identity at the Warriors has always been schoolyard bullshit, razzle-dazzle. We might blow you off the park, you might blow us off the park, but we're going to try shit. Where we turned around was, I think, even before Webby came in, and it was like, right, through was Nathan Brown was like...
No, and it was especially actually when
Kearney?
Nathan Brown left and Todd Payton came in for the second half of that season.
And it was like, we're going to complete at 99%. We're not going to try any dumb shit. And if you beat us, you beat us, but you only beat us by 2 or 4 points. But we're not going to give you the game. And I think that's taken a little bit of the natural footy away from some of the players. And I think that's why, like you said, Chance has got so much more than he's been showing. And I think maybe we just need to loosen the reins a little bit and just be like, look, fellas, we've got some ball players. Let them play ball. We still need to stick with the high completion rates, the defense, the solid defense. But I just feel like we've got a bit more razzle-dazzle in us. We need to unleash it a little bit.
Our teams aren't going through the middle of us.
Nah.
Our defense in the middle is really good.
Yeah.
It's just the edges. Like, we get caught sucking in, jamming in.
You don't want to get caught sucking in.
Oh, never get caught sucking in.
Yeah.
But, our wingers seem to be turned in a lot of the time. So when the ball goes around the outside of them, they have to turn out and then chase.
And they are not great chasers.
And we were chatting a bit about this before. When Nick Meaney got that runaway try, everything has a trade-off. Our backs run hard out, like in the first 3 tackles when we get the ball.
Yeah.
But they're not nimble, sort of Jason Saab, Khan Pereira type.
We don't
speedsters.
No, we don't have any out-and-out speedster. I think we talked about this on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. If I asked you who our fastest player was, and you couldn't say Luke Metcalf, I don't know who it is. I think it's Dallin once he gets going.
Yeah, sometimes I'm actually going, oh, would it be Jazz maybe or Dylan?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, over 10 metres, it's definitely Dylan.
And also we I think no one's that sprint like from 0 to 100 really fast. Like Dallin, once he gets like the flap up, he's away. But for him to get to the velocity to have the flap up, it takes a little bit.
Yeah,
And Marcelo is more
He's made of
hard
granite.
workhorse granite run.
Well, he's an origin winger, is what Marcelo is. He's a hard-nosed, straight up the guts, kick return sort of winger.
And Rocco Berry had a good break, actually.
Yeah.
But he's not out-and-out speedster.
No, you can tell he's a rugby union player, or was at least. But look, I think 38's probably a little higher than I would like it to be. Couple of brain farts. I think if you take those away, they scored 2 tries there. So in my mind, I can shave 12 points off this, and that makes it 26-24.
Yeah, but did we have both? There was a few minutes when both of them were off at the same time.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, so we're playing 11.
We had a soccer team.
11 versus 13 of the Storm.
Yeah, plus the ref.
Plus the ref at one point. But, I mean, Andrew Webster looked really bummed out.
Yeah, he did.
In the press conference.
Mitch Barnett was scathing in his post-match conference as well. They were like, what did you think? He said a couple of individual performances really let us down in that second half. He just stopped short of being like, Dallin, Marcelo, fucked us.
Well, they did.
They did.
They did, because you can't lose 2 players.
Nah.
Especially not on your edge, because you can't hide that.
No. I mean, no. So anyway, we move on. We'll probably give a bigger preview of the game when we get closer to it. But we've got the Tits this weekend, Saturday, 5 p.m. The Titans have not been going very well, but I think from memory, and I should have checked this, they beat us last time?
Yes, they beat us at home.
But we're going to be going over there, I believe.
Seabus Stadium. The Tits had a pretty bad outing.
Yes.
Without their star, David Fafita.
Yep. Late scratching, hopefully he's still out this week, knock on wood.
It's the hard thing's going to be seeing how we line up, I think.
Yeah.
How that back line lines up. I mean, I'm confident that there's enough young talent.
Yes, but
fill that.
But what we really need from this, round 16 this weekend, there are 27 rounds. What we need from here on out is and the best teams will have this, a bit of consistency and continuity throughout. That's why we did so well last year. We've had so much chopping and changing, it's hard to get that continuity going.
So we need to win. We need to win. What do we have, 8 games left?
No, more than that. It's we've got 2 buys left. One of our buys is round 27, which is handy.
So our upcoming games are Titans, Broncos, Dogs, Raiders, Tigers, Eels, Dolphins, Manly, Dogs, Sharks.
I'm hearing some dog shit teams in there. That fills me with confidence.
I think the cutoff's going to be around 32 points, and we're on 15 at the moment. We get 4 more points from buys to 19.
Yeah.
Then we'll need to find 13, 14. We need to find 7 wins.
I don't mind it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So basically 7, we need to win 7 out of our next 10 games.
Have we played the Tigers yet? I don't think we have.
We played the Tigers in there. So I reckon we beat the Titans. I reckon we beat the Broncos at home.
Yep.
We play the Dogs away. That's a tough game, 50-50. Raiders away.
I reckon we beat the Raiders.
Okay. We beat the Raiders. We beat the Tigers.
Yeah.
The Eels at home. I reckon we can
beat the Eels.
Then we have the Dolphins away.
No.
Manly away.
No.
Dogs at home.
Our home.
Yeah.
I'm probably still going to say no.
And Sharks away.
Oof. So we need to
That's given us 5.
So we need 2 more out of that.
So we're going to need... Yeah, but there are 2 games in there I could see us jagging.
Yeah, the Bulldogs ones. I just don't know
See, the Bulldogs feel to me like those games that we could either get touched up or we could put a score on.
Yeah. And
so it's going to be... And bear in mind, this is to just get us into the 8.
But we'll be firing once we get in there.
Oh, hell yeah. Book your tickets.
Yeah, it's going to be tense.
I literally have.
All right, we're going to have you actually.
Oh, yeah, I got my accommodation. When the tickets come out, I'll be there.
Oh,
mind you, Charlie and I, when we went to the grand final last year, we got there and we went, it's pretty cool the Warriors aren't here because this is a stress-free experience.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like fully enjoy the day.
Yeah.
There was no worry.
Rather than just like shitting yourself. James McConey on the Super Rugby commentary of the Chiefs was so nervous he had to go make a cup of tea mid-commentary. Just walked off.
Oh, I know. I'm a Canes fan, and that was depressing.
All right, we'll move on.
Let's move on.
We're going to take a quick break, but just before we do, the 4 and 24 pack prize pack is back for this month. Each month, Mad Monday team are giving away 4 tickets to the next home game and 4 and 20 pie vouchers. Do not eat those with a knife and fork. To enter, just text the monthly keyword to 3236. This month, the keyword is yum.
Oh, well, Y-U-M.
Yeah, you got it. And if you can spell that like die, text yum to 3236 to be in to win. Quick break. We'll be back with the Stonka. All right, now it is time for the Stonka of the Round. This game was billed by, I think it was Dan Ganane that was commentating it, as will it be Jaws or Flipper? Dolphins versus Sharks tonight.
Jaws or Flipper? I mean, Dan Ganane's got a great turn of phrase, but that's not really the...
Yeah. Also, was Flipper a dolphin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But also, Sharks still have flippers, don't they?
Well, this is the thing. Both teams were doing the fins up thing on their head when they were scoring. Both the Sharks and the Dolphins. That was their celebration.
So there was, because I think it was 5 years ago, the Sharks almost went with fins up as their
slogan
catchphrase. Then they were really pissed off when the Dolphins went with it.
Yeah. So a bit of feeling there. But in the end...
This was a good game.
Yeah, the Dolphins, as they want to do, they nibbled around and ate the liver out of the Sharks. That is how Dolphins quite often kill Sharks. 30 points to 28. But it was the ending of this game. It genuinely was anyone's game right up until the final hurdle, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was Sione Katoa. What he went in, it felt like with a minute to go or 2 minutes to go.
I know, and then they left the clock running to where it was expired by the time Nico Hines took his kick. He missed it, and in the end, 30 points to 28.
Poor Nico's a bit out of form.
Did he, because I saw this meme doing the rounds this morning, did he kick himself out of Origin with that kick?
I think it was a bit of a foregone conclusion before that. He didn't really offer a lot in Origin. I mean, you can't really judge his Origin stats because he played that weird 10 minutes at centre last year.
Yeah.
Ever since he went into that Origin camp, he seemed a bit out of sorts. He was out and out the best halfback in the comp until a week before Origin.
And all of a sudden he's come off the boil.
Yeah, and even in that Dolphins game, he didn't seem to be fully leading them around the park. Shivers, the Dolphins played hard out in that opening 20 minutes. I thought this was going to be a blowout.
To the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they'd scored 4 times in 25 minutes.
The Dolphins look incredible. And in only their second year, usually when a new team comes in, you look at them and you're like, oh, yeah, well, it takes ages to get a team up and running. Well, not for these guys.
I'll be intrigued to see what happens when Christian Wolf takes over next year.
Yes. Although, I don't know. I feel like there's enough momentum that the players have been given opportunities. None more so than Hammer, who had a try of the year kind of candidate when he caught the ball 5 meters out from his own line. And it was like John Kerwin against Italy. It was like Jared Hayne in 2009. Can't find any footage of that online anymore. But he just carved everyone up out of nowhere and scored a try down.
Look, I felt like I was watching a heavily suntanned Christian Cullen there for a second. That sort of jinking run, bouncing around out of your own 22. No one quite knows where they're going. Then, boom, he's off.
Into the backfield.
He has wheels.
Oh, he's incredible. I think there's some ridiculous stat around how many tries he's scored. Basically, if he walks onto a rugby league field, he scores at least one try. The Hammer. And it doesn't matter whether that's in Origin, could be for anyone. He's going to score a try. He has been absolutely outstanding. The way that we do the Dally M, he's not going to win it, but I think he's probably been arguably the best player in the league this year.
Oh, absolutely. He and that's try of the year so far.
Yeah.
The Sharks, I mean, they're falling off.
Yeah.
They've had a rough few weeks.
They are still hovering around the top 4, though, the Sharks.
In fact, I think they're still in there, aren't they?
I think they've had
they're third still. And the Dolphins are
Fourth.
Oh, yeah. So Penrith, Cronulla are on 22 points and the Dolphins are on 20.
Yeah, I think that they have had a topsy-turvy one, but I think that it's because of the expectations on them that people think that they're not going too well. Whereas when you actually watch them, they are going well. They came off the boil for a little bit. Trindle's back now. Mulitalo's starting to look good. Sifatalakai's been coming off the bench.
They'll be a
and
bit
carving
bummed
up.
out they've got the bye this week because with McInnes and Hines not making Origin, they'd have their full strength side.
Yeah, it would be a bit of an advantage. I just think that
Yeah, Mulitalo does look like he's back in form, mate.
He is. Because for the longest time, he was like one of those super coach guns where he was putting up these massive scores. Then Trindle went out and all of a sudden the ball's not coming down his side. He starts coming off the boil a little bit. Now he looks excellent again. And I just think that, like I said, they've been up and down. When it comes to the end of the season, I still think they're going to be there or thereabouts. And it will only take 2 or 3 good performances from Nico Hines for everyone to say he's back to being,
100%. Then he's top of the Supercoach by.
Yeah, how's this for a stat? This is the first Dolphins win in Sydney ever. The Dolphins have never won. And I think that's by virtue of the fact that 90% of their games are at home.
Oh, I mean, I've been on a rant about this before.
Yeah.
Queensland teams seem to have an awful amount of games in Queensland.
Yeah. Pisses me off that they play all their games at Suncorp. That's not their home. They've got Redfern.
I heard one of the on Triple M, one of the Queensland pundits was saying he feels sorry for the Broncos and they may have taken a loss because they're a bit travel weary because they had to go to Sydney this week to play the Bunnies. When it's like, bro, you've just played like 13 out of 14 games at
home. I know.
Suncorp.
Don't talk about that to us. I was literally looking at flights to Sydney just last night. It's a 4-hour flight to Sydney. And that's not the dick around time on either side of a flight either.
No, and for some reason it's 3 hours back and 4 hours over. Trade winds.
Well, I don't know. I think that's what they want you to believe, but I reckon if you look at it,
They just fly it a bit faster, or is the Earth spinning that way?
It's not spinning at all, Di. Open your eyes, mate. It's flat.
Oh, it's like a saucer.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're the teacups.
And they just go a little bit faster on the way back so that you think that it's actually round. This is how they fucking keep us down, man.
Oh, man, look, I feel that we've got a whole podcast about this. I wonder what the Venn diagram of flat earthers and rugby league podcast listeners is.
It would look like the Japanese flag. It's just one circle. It would look like the one NZ logo. Because every time someone just got interviewed about it about a couple of weeks ago, and he was just like, "Look, I don't know, just do your own research." Is all I'm saying.
Oh, I love the do your own research, guys.
It's like, no, I'm not a research guy. There are people that do the research.
Yeah,
you know, I'm the talk dumb shit about sports guy.
Multiple people have done the research.
Also, YouTube is not research. Anyway, we digress. That was an absolute stonker, that game. I thought that there were great games across the weekend as well. It was a good weekend.
Yeah, I have to say, I'd like to, while we're talking about the sending off for the Warriors players, my heart is with JWH.
Yeah.
Did you see his send off?
No.
For his tackle on Sean Lane?
No, that game was a blowout very early doors, and I stopped watching it.
I thought he was rough. He was definitely sent. You know, they were sending him off before the tackle happened, basically.
I was like, who did it? Jared?
Yeah, you're out, mate.
Out of here.
But no, my teams, the Roosters had a win, and the Bunnies look like they're back in form.
Bunnies are back. I saw this boat turning around a couple of weeks ago. I brought every bunny I could afford into my Supercoach team. I just think they are a good team. We've forgotten about it because they had a shitter to start the season, they sacked the coach, the whole thing. I think they're going to be very good for the rest of the season.
Because they do have like a top 4 roster once they get their side back.
Absolutely. Kalormatangi's been excellent.
Kalormatangi, the last couple of weeks, has been on fire.
Yeah.
Latrell is back to actually doing effort plays where he's doing hard runs.
He's pissed off and he needs that.
But he's not... You know how Cody and Latrell can do pissed off, but they end up just doing brain farts and getting sent off?
Yeah.
He's pissed off but focused. And I to be honest, Cody Walker's got to be putting his hand up for Origin. He is so good close to the line.
Well, they've just announced their team. We'll go through it in a minute, but he has missed out, which is a little bit disappointing for for poor Cody. So you're right, though. He should be in contention, particularly with the halves crisis that they got going on.
So it wouldn't surprise me. It feels like looking at the outside of pretty much, I reckon, Parramatta, even them. So Tigers and Gold Coast, the other sort of 9 to 15 could all go on a run and make the 8.
Tigers, Titans, Eels, yeah. There's a bit of parity in the league this year. It's quite good.
Oh, yeah, this is why you got to love your rugby league.
Yeah.
Is that any team can beat any team on their day. Look, the Tigers beat the Panthers, remember?
Yeah. It was a couple of years ago. I actually won a lot of money off that one. I was just like, battle of the big cats. I can see it going one way. Look, we talked about State of Origin just before. They have announced the Blues team, the New South Wales team, is out. We've also received a little bit of mail on the Queensland team. Now, this is, take it with a grain of salt. Probably by the time you listen to this podcast, you might actually know who is in that Maroons team. But we're gonna take it as gospel, and so we're gonna dissect.
It's from a very reputable source.
The notorious pants man, Joel Harrison. So we're gonna take a quick break. We'll come back and whip through those teams. All right, we've just had a quick break for Di to make a few phone calls. He's talked to some of the people he's connected with over there in the Queensland setup, and he's got the team list for the Maroons. I think we'll go. Do you want to go Blues first?
Yeah, Blues first, baby.
All right, let's go Blues first. So the squad list for Game 2 reads thusly. Dylan Edwards back in at the number 1 jersey.
So Teddy falls out.
Teddy falls out. And I think that's Madge saying, look, I was right in picking Dylan Edwards. He's still the best player. He was just injured.
Imagine if he gets a quad injury in training again and Teddy comes back in.
Brian To'o retains his number 2 jersey.
No controversy there. He's an absolute weapon.
Stephen Crichton.
Man of the match for the Blues in a losing side.
Stephen Crichton has been one of the best players this season. He is absolutely incredible. This is big. Latrell Mitchell has been called in at centre.
Had to happen.
It had to.
It had to happen. The talk was, it's like how I think, I'll use the Black Caps, which is a poor example at the moment. When you pick a side, you pick who don't you want bowling at you.
Yeah.
I don't want like Lockie Ferguson bowling at me.
Yeah.
You know, I do not want Latrell in big games running at me.
100%.
And Latrell's the one who will actually win a game single-handedly.
Yeah. Yeah, he will. I think their coach, whose name escapes me now because they sacked
Madge Maguire.
No, the Rabbitohs coach.
Ben Hornby.
Ben Hornby, yeah, career interim head coach.
He's up for Dally M interim coach of the year.
Every year it seems. Yeah. He was saying, look, I don't know who they're going to pick. All I know is I would hate to have Latrell lining up opposite me. And I was like, that's exactly, don't overthink it.
So Latrell's going to be up against Val Holmes. Yeah, it's a juicy matchup.
Oh, and it's the last thing that Val Holmes wants to see. Zach Lomax retains his jersey at number 5.
He's having a year. He's having an absolute bumper year. As someone who I never really liked as a player, I'm coming around to him.
Same here, and I'm like, what is going on at the Dragons that he wants out? Hunt wants out. Hunt's just re-signed. Lomax is playing the season of his life.
Is
I don't know
Lomax
what's
gonna? Do you think he'll agitate to backflip and stay at the Dragons? The Dragons are doing a hell of a lot better than Para are at the moment.
They are. I just think...
Just to sideline this with, I was thinking of Para. Isaiah Papali'i going to Penrith. He's going to be a weapon at Penrith.
Yeah, he will be. And again, he's the same Ali Katoa theory if he wouldn't have done that if he stayed with us. But we digress. Jerome Luai in at number 6. Mitchell Moses is in now.
So interesting here. Jerome Luai and Moses in the halves. Nico's out. I would have been tempted to put Jerome Luai at the halfback spot.
And put Cody Walker in?
Yes. One, because Cody and Latrell have that like telepathic play together.
The Vulcan mind meld.
Yeah. However, Moses has an epic kicking game, and that's what the Blues lacked in game 1.
And I just feel like if I'm a New South Welshman, I don't want Jerome Luai as my halfback in State of Origin. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't put my finger on exactly what it is, but that doesn't fill me with confidence.
I mean, that's a great halves pairing.
It is. Jake Trebojevic will wear the captain's armband again. Reece Robson.
John Berenthal. Reece Robson looks a lot like John Berenthal, who played the Punisher.
Yeah. I know the guy you're talking about. I don't. Yeah.
And Reece Robson, he made like 45 tackles or something in that first Origin.
He's been excellent. Payne Haas will be on the other side of the scrum. Liam Martin, Angus Crichton, Cameron Murray comes into the team.
Baby.
Yeah, he's been out with injury for quite a while. He's just straight back into the team there. Isaiah Yeo will come off the bench. So will Haumole Olakauatu, Spencer Leniu, and an 18th man this week, meaning he will not play for the Warriors this weekend, Mitchell Barnett. Great for him. Disappointing for us.
Great for him. It sort of means might have a freshen up week if he doesn't play. He played amazing for us. If you haven't heard the news, he's re-signed for 2 more years at the Warriors. He's loved his time over here. He doesn't think he's done all he wants to do at the Warriors.
Win us a chip match.
Yes, win us a comp. He is. He deserves a spot in there. I hope he actually gets some game time. Looking at this side, though, that's a weapon of a forward pack and a bench.
Oh, yeah. Cam McInnes isn't even in there. He's 19th man.
I'm glad to see Connor Watson in there. I think he's had a really good year for the Roosters.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I skipped over him. I thought Connor Watson was great. How about this stat? He missed all of last year with an injury. He started this year in New South Wales Cup, and now he is playing State of Origin in Game 2. He has been excellent. If you haven't been watching the Roosters, he's been coming off the bench for them, and he has been incredible.
He plays with so much energy. I think if they can string it together, granted, it's very hard to tell exactly where the Blues are at because that game was lost with the sending off.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a cracker of a game. So here is the Queensland team for State of Origin Game 2. Reece Walsh has been cleared of concussion. He'll be starting at fullback. Xavier Coates on the wing with Murray Taulagi. Valentine Holmes and the Hamaso Tabuai Fido in the centres. Tom Dearden, Daly Cherry Evans in the halves. Ruben Cotter at prop with Lindsay Collins. Ben Hunt playing 9. Jaden Sewer, Jeremiah Nanai, Pat Carrigan. The bench is Harry Grant, Mo Fotueka, Felice Kaufusi, and Kurt Capewell.
Is that right?
Kurt Capewell's in at 17.
Well, he's been out for about 6 weeks, it seems, for the Warriors. He comes back in, plays about 7 minutes on the weekend, and now he's straight into Origin.
Yeah, not saying he was ever bad at the Warriors, but it's not like he blew the doors off.
No, but I think this is what the Maroons do so well, is that they pick Origin players and they feel like they are building a Maroons team. As the Blues, to me, feel like they're picking an all-star team every year.
See, Kurt Capewell at 17, what this smacks of is like Maroons get out to a bit of a lead, and then they bring on players like Capewell who will just tackle everything, who'll just shut the middle down. The extended squad, 18 is Origin Gags, Dane Gagai. 19 is the Helium Balloon,
Halem Lukey. Wow.
And Trent Loiero.
Wow.
That's a surprise.
Halem Lukey's a surprise. He was excellent to start the season, had some sort of horrific injury, and then came back just a couple of weeks ago again. But again,
he had a pretty middling game against us.
Yeah, but again, I just feel like they play like they are the Australian team, and they're building for the future, and they're bringing dudes through. And if you had the jersey last year, that means a lot. We want to bring you back in because of that. And I think that DCE at the helm, brings a lot of mana to that team.
DCE is dripping mana. Yeah. He seems to just get better and better and better. Yeah. But he's 33, 34. He looks like he's comfortably got a couple of years left in him.
I think he might even be older than that, yeah.
That is epic. I mean, the Blues, they're playing in Melbourne, must-win game, or we go to a dead rubber. So Madge is just throwing everything at the wall to win this.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Queensland,
he's done enough? I don't know.
I don't think he has. I don't think he has.
No.
I still can't see why Spencer Leniu deserves a spot over Mitch Barnett. That is insane to me.
Yeah, I mean, Spencer Leniu, I think he definitely changed the vibe in that game one when he came on. You know how he's got the big flaring eyes? He freaks the shit out of people.
Well,
but Mitch Barnett,
particularly people of certain...
yeah, I feel Mitch Barnett is more of an origin player.
So do I. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yes, I think he is too.
Like, he's just sturdy.
Grew up on a dairy farm in New South Wales?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
He just get the udder between the fingers, you know, and just get out.
Base to tip, base to tip,
Exactly.
base to tip.
Just fully unpasteurized.
Yeah.
Unpasteurized try scoring.
Yeah, do your own research on unpasteurized milk as well. I'm just saying, this is the kind of guy
Exactly.
we need.
Literally only 8 out of 10 people die from it. Like, so what's wrong with it? Drink it, man.
When they pasteurize it, they take out all the nutrients that make your bones grow strong. It's what they don't want you to know. That's what big dairy doesn't want you to know.
I feel the internet's just caused more controversy than actually ironing facts out.
But I do think that he is a New South Welshman. You know, Madge was talking about all the stuff that they're going to go up in the Blue Mountains, they want to take it back, get it away from the city, get it away from lattes and Bondi. If that's what you're going to do, then Mitch Barnett is the man you need in your team.
Yeah.
But having said that, I don't think the Blues are going to win this. I think this could even be a sweep.
You're never going to lose money betting on Queensland consistently.
No, you're not. And so that's how I think that one's going to play out. That is next Wednesday at the god-awful time of 10 o'clock, but we'll be commentating that one.
Which also ends up to really actually be 10:15, but 10 past 10, 10:15 by the time.
Easily. It is a week ruiner, Origin, because by then you're just buggered for the rest of the week.
I'd had a long day before the Origin call last time, and then I got home, and you're still a bit fizzing,
Yes.
just from calling a game.
Can't get to sleep.
Get home, it's like 20 past 12, and it's like, oh, it's Thursday tomorrow, and I have stuff at like 8:30 to do.
Yeah.
And then
You're in bed at 1 o'clock watching Origin biffs on YouTube. Like, I'm not getting to sleep right off the night. So yeah, we'll be commentating that. We'll be commentating the Warriors Saturday 5 o'clock against the Tits. We'll be back on Thursday for another episode of the Mad Monday podcast. Thank you very much, Di. See you later on.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your week.